In the bitter winter of December 1937, as the flames of the Second Sino-Japanese War spread across China, the Imperial Japanese Army turned its sights on Nanjing, the capital of the Republic of China. The city had already been battered by weeks of bombing, and when Japanese forces finally breached its walls on December 13, 1937, what followed was not merely conquest, it was mass extermination. For 6 agonizing weeks, Nanjing became a silent graveyard, echoing only with screams, gunfire, and the cries of the innocent. Japanese soldiers, numbering over 50,000, swept through the city with unrestrained brutality. Civilians were dragged from their homes, families torn apart, and men accused of being Chinese soldiers were executed in mass shootings. The Yangtze River, once the lifeline of the city, ran red as thousands of bodies were dumped into its waters. Eyewitnesses recalled execution contests between Japanese officers who competed to see who could behead 100 prisoners first, as though human life were nothing more than a cruel sport. Women, from the elderly to young girls, suffered a fate even worse. It is estimated that over 20,000 women were raped, many in front of their families. Entire households were wiped out afterward to destroy evidence of the soldiers' crimes. Pregnant women were mutilated. Infants were tossed into the air and impaled on bayonets. Churches, schools, and hospitals, once symbols of hope, were transformed into torture chambers. Fire consumed neighborhoods as soldiers looted every valuable possession, reducing Nanjing to a city of smoke, blood, and silence. Amid the horror, a few brave foreigners refused to flee. Figures like John Rabe, a German businessman and Nazi party member, and Minnie Vautrin, an American missionary, helped establish the Nanjing Safety Zone, a refuge that sheltered more than 200,000 civilians. Their diaries and films became critical evidence of what truly happened, capturing the terror through the eyes of survivors. These testimonies were later presented in the Tokyo War Crimes Tribunal, proving beyond doubt that what took place in Nanjing was not spontaneous chaos. It was organized mass murder, sanctioned by command. When the Japanese army finally withdrew, the once prosperous capital lay in ruins. Over 300,000 Chinese civilians and prisoners of war were dead, slaughtered in cold blood. The stench of death filled the air for months, and the survivors were left haunted for the rest of their lives. Even today, Japan's acknowledgement of the massacre remains a sensitive and divisive issue. But no amount of denial can erase the photographic evidence, the written testimonies, and the collective pain of a city that endured the unimaginable. The Nanjing Massacre stands as a grim warning to all humanity, a moment when civilization collapsed and man turned into something far darker. It is not merely a story of war, it is a story of what happens when hatred is given power and conscience is silenced.